volunteers that's sponsored by the Chamber. And it is an amazing group of volunteers that have done amazing things to make an impact in our community to support our small businesses. And we are ever so glad and happy to be associated with them. So big shout out to the Think Local team. If anybody is got some time this afternoon at 4 o'clock and would like to get more involved, we are having a meeting today here at the Chamber. And I believe there's even a Zoom link. If you can't make it in person, we can send that out, but we'd love to see you if you're comfortable doing that. So that's going to be 4 o'clock here at the Chamber office. We've got a lot of things coming up we're going to be discussing and trying to put together. So if you're looking to get involved in the community and the Think Local team, that would be a great place to start. If you can't make it today but are still interested, reach out to any of us. You can reach out to the Chamber, Chrissy, Caitlin, you name it, and we can get you the information and get you involved. So with that, let's just jump right into why you need a content calendar. I know that I'm really interested in this because from my end, I need to get better on social media. I'm aware of that, and everybody's been really, really good at helping me get started. But this content calendar is something that I definitely need to implement for my business just to have a better presence on social media. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin Cotter. She is the marketing director at Realty One Group Dream.
There we go.
Okay, I was reversed though. So Realty One, and from there, I think she's going to tell us about content calendars. So, Caitlin, take it away. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I'm super excited to have so many of you here on an early morning with me. Content calendars are huge for your business. So we're just going to kind of be doing some basics today, and hopefully you're feeling a lot more confident, have a better game plan moving forward. Because we are a smaller group, if at any point there are questions or there's a slide that you're kind of like, wait, I'm confused on this, like, just let me know if you have that question. I'm sure someone else does. I like to keep things open when I teach a class, so don't hesitate to unmute yourself and say, hey, pause for a minute, let's talk more on this. So obviously we know we're here to talk about content calendars. So there we go. We first off just want to touch on why a content calendar is important. First off, companies that publish more than 16 posts a month will actually generate 3.5 times more traffic than those that publish less than 4. So hopefully we all know that the more we post, the better engagement that we're getting. And being able to post more and more consistently is going to just help you and your business in the long run. Unfortunately, though, 63% of businesses don't even have a documented strategy. So, that 63% is using a more ad lib approach. This can be good with some items, but for the most part, having an impromptu technique like this is really just gonna kind of take away from your consistency and quality of your content that you're posting. Quality is way important. I always tell everyone quality over quantity. And when you're able to sit down, look at your content calendar, you're able to prioritize that quality and maintain that quantity. It's a really easy way to kind of keep the two hand in hand. So let's see, there we go. Today, the main things we're going to be focusing on are the 8 reasons you need a content calendar. Going to break each of those down one by one, and then 4 pieces that your content calendar should include, just those basic tips to help you make sure that your post is going to perform its best. And then I'm going to share just some of my favorite scheduling apps and tools, as well as a few others that I found online that had decent reviews. So we'll definitely get into that. The biggest thing with a content calendar is it's saving you that last minute terror of oh gosh, it's 5 o'clock, I haven't posted anything today, and just throwing something out randomly. So jumping right in, this is where keeping you organized and on track is the first thing that content calendar is really going to help you with. Your content calendar is going to give you a better perspective of your overall marketing strategy. So this allows you to align all of your marketing platforms in one easy place. Biggest thing with this is having, these different apps, these tools for you to put your content calendar on. You're going to have a lot higher success than, say, if you're like me and really bad at this. I have that random idea that I'm like, this would be such a good piece of content. I write it down on a sticky note, I slap it in my notebook, and then I find it like 5 weeks later and didn't do it, or it's just kind of that random little bit all over the place here and there type of thoughts. But being able to take those thoughts and immediately put them towards your content calendar helps you to say, okay, I had a good thought. It's going to go perfectly with this week that I'm planning within my business, and really be more organized with how you're approaching any of your marketing for that week. When you are scheduling out or planning your content calendar, it helps you stay organized, because when you're having those little side notes, here's a thought here, here's a thought there, those can be easy to drift away from the actual topic that you're wanting to focus on. I know that there's been multiple times that it's like that random, like 2 a.m. thought that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a good idea. And I like wake up, I write it down super quick. And then by the morning, I'm like, oh, that was a terrible idea. Like, why did I even bother writing that down? So the nice part is I at least have a little bit of time to go through, reassess what I've written down and see if that actually is going to work for my business or not. Whereas if you're just taking that random thought, you're throwing out there on social media, you're, doing a quick video, whatever it is that you're acting on, and you don't really have that time to pause and say, this actually isn't relevant to what I've been promoting all week within my business. It's not worth me sharing. You're also going to be able to take a look at your overarching calendar and notice any of those content gaps, or if there's too much focus on one area and not enough on another. It is going to help you avoid missing, potential deadlines or items that you really want to meet. So, if you have like a sales goal that you're making for the end of the month, you want to make sure that those posts are aligning with that, and you're not just posting something completely random off topic that's not really aligning with your goals. A big thing with a content calendar, and I'm sure I'll mention it multiple times, is just how it aligns with your goals and what you want out of your business. I'm huge on setting goals, having weekly goals, daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, and having that content calendar allows you to make sure that you're making your marketing content align with said goals and help you reach your end goal. Number 2 is this is excellent for brainstorming. So whether you are on a team, you have multiple people within your company, or you're just kind of doing everything on your own, kudos to you. It's always an amazing opportunity to brainstorm. When you're starting to look at your month, you're planning out your content, if you have that designated time that you're making these plans, it's going to be amazing what you're able to see. Hey, I'm thinking of this and I'm thinking of that. And if I'm posting this, I should also post about that, and just kind of let everything flow and come to you. Whereas when you're just kind of posting on the fly, you're missing out on a lot of those opportunities for, more relatable topics, brainstorming further how to make, one post actually a much larger, hey, I'm going to do a week-long campaign because I have enough content relating, or I have enough information relating to this one piece that I could do a week-long segment with it. There's a lot more opportunity if you're taking the time to actually focus solely on your content and what you're going to be putting out. You're also going to be able to monitor, analyze your audience's engagement. If you're not already doing that, like, I cannot recommend highly enough to be tracking the analytics of how your posts are doing. That helps you so much in being able to see, hey, this performed super well, whereas this didn't. And then you can start figuring out, why did this perform well? Why did this one not? What do I need to change moving forward to make sure that this is performing better? Or what can I tweak on this other one so that way the next time I get twice as much engagement? Being able to check back in, make sure that your goals are, again, being met, being reached, that definitely aligns with your audience and what your audience is seeing from you. Next, it is going to help maintain consistency. Consistency is key. If there were 3 C's of content marketing, they would be consistency, consistency, consistency. This is just a really good way of always bringing people back and making people think of you and your brand. If you're not consistent in what you're posting, it's really easy to get confused on, wait, what business is posting this? What are they doing again? Why should I be, interested in their product or service? When you have that consistency, it helps establish and just align your brand to where people know, hey, okay, I saw this post. I know exactly who this is from. I know what they're selling, and you're able to continue to build on that. Your audience is always going to be your primary focus. Anytime, whether you are posting on the fly or you're sitting down and actually doing your content calendar, the difference is when you're doing your content calendar, you're able to look and see, hey, I can focus more on my audience and give them exactly what they need and educate them on these pieces during this time because it's very important this time of year. You're going to figure out for your business what that looks like, what you need to be posting when, but just make sure, especially if you have your logo, your brand colors, any type of verbiage that you typically use, maintain that. You don't want to have such a regular posting that it feels like there's 15 different people running your marketing. Even if there are, that's fabulous, but it all needs to be aligned and it needs to feel like, whether I'm talking to person A or person Z, that you're still being represented by the company, by the brand. It all feels consistent from the consumer standpoint. 4, it helps keep your audience engaged. So when you're in a hurry and you're posting something, you're most likely going to fail to notice that this is something you've already posted. It's a topic you've already covered. And even worse, it's something that maybe you just posted about. I know when I've been in a rush before and I grab something, I'm like, oh, I can easily post this. I get it going and I'm like, oh man, I have the perfect caption for this. And I start typing it out and have that moment of like, wait, this all seems really familiar. I feel like I've used this caption before. And typically that's because I look back and it's like, oh, great. I just posted that a month ago. By no means am I saying not to reuse content because that's a huge time saver. It can be extremely beneficial, but you want to do it appropriately. So if you're reposting the same piece of content every 2 weeks, you're not really offering anything new to your audience. And so you're going to lose that engagement. If you have a post that performs super well and, 6 months later, you're like, hey, that went really great last time, I want to reshare that. That's a really great time for that, because you're going to remind your initial audience of why they enjoyed it so much in the first place. And hopefully by that point, you have some new audience members as well. Like I said before, everything you're doing is focused on your audience. And so you want to make sure that you're always picking pieces that are really going to resonate with your audience. And that's always going to be helping your engagement. So when we're sitting down and looking at the content calendar, you're going to be able to see, hey, I'm talking about this topic on the first week of the month, so I don't really want to repeat it at the end of the month. Let's go ahead and maybe just flip that calendar, look 3 months in the future and say, hey, this date though is going to be a really good time to readdress this topic. You can always look further ahead than just that month for sure. Plan ahead. We'll kind of touch a little bit more on that here, I think, in a few slides. But that planning is super key. I don't think actually that I've mentioned this yet, but when you are building out your content calendar, always aim, I say, for a month in advance. So if you can sit down and, the last weekend of the month, plan your content calendar for the next month, you're going to have amazing success. I know with some industries, it's super hard. Being for me in real estate, it's extremely difficult to say, hey, I'm going to, schedule this post in 2 weeks because the market changes every single day. That's not really a viable option, but I can sit down and do a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time and know that, hey, maybe I'm not sharing anything that's home related, something that can change within the next 5 minutes, but I can take these items that I know are relevant, they're not going to change, and I can schedule them through my week. So number 5, it's crucial for staying in the know. When you're building your content calendar, it really helps for memorizing holidays, especially when there's things that you're not necessarily going to be aware of, like tomorrow is International Sushi Day. That's not a joke. It really is. I'm definitely using it as an excuse to eat sushi tomorrow. But, there's fun little things like that. There's so many random holidays that go on all the time. If you know that they're coming up, you can plan in advance and your post is going to be so much better if you're 2 months ahead of schedule and you have a fabulous photo and you've put everything together, you have this great caption, it's set, it's ready to go, rather than yet again we're just posting on the fly and going, here's a picture of a random piece of sushi I found online, happy International Sushi Day. You might get some engagement, but it's definitely not going to be as great of engagement as if you're planning ahead and you're at a sushi restaurant and you say, you know what, I'm super excited that I got a date night at Koi. I'm going to snag a photo and I'm going to keep this. And then I'm going to post it a month from now for International Sushi Day. And then I'm going to tag them in it and be like, hey, don't forget, stop by Koi today for International Sushi Day. You have a little bit more flex in what you're posting. You can be a little bit more personal that way. You're planning ahead. You're taking a lot of stress off of you. And it's a really easy way to know when content is going out. If you're looking at holidays, that's an easy, 12 at least holidays, depending on how intense you want to get with it. You could do a holiday every single day, but if we're focusing on main ones, it's about 12 that you can have the opportunity to take off your content calendar already and know that, hey, I know every February on the 14th, I have a Valentine's Day post. So I can plan for that. And it's so, so nice to be able to do because, you get into that flow It's that time of year, you're busy, you have a lot on your plate. And the last thing you're probably thinking about is, hey, here's this really good idea for a social media post for Valentine's Day. But maybe, in October or November, you are thinking ahead, you have that brilliant idea come to you and you're going, that would actually be a really cool thing to post. Well, awesome. Put it on the content calendar, schedule it out. Let's make sure that you're actually acting on that. And it's not just something that we're writing down on that sticky note, slapping into our notebook, and of course, eventually losing. So number 6, it provides visibility across departments. So again, this is something that whether you're one person and you're just like crushing the game, or you're working on a team and you all have to come together, you're always going to have sales and you're always going to have marketing, and the two need to be able to come together to support each other. Interesting statistic that I found is that when working together, your marketing and sales departments will close 67% more deals than if they are working separately. So a content calendar can be a highly useful resource when it comes to getting the sales and marketing to align. You're able to, talk with the sales, talk with marketing, or like I said, if that is just you, you can have that conversation with yourself and figure out what are the sales goals and how do we create the marketing to align with that. You're giving yourself that goal that is helping drive your content, and it creates that plan for you, so you are able to say, hey, if we want to do 5% more sales this year, then the marketing team can sit down and have a brainstorming session of, okay, what can we do marketing wise to increase our sales this month? You're able to kind of drive off of each other, utilize that content calendar to be able to say, hey, if we want our sales to be here by this date, then we need to be posting this here, this there, and map that out so that way you are reaching those goals.
Hey, Caitlin.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you give me that stat again? When marketing and sales works together, what is that stat again?
When marketing and sales work together, the two departments can close 67% more deals than working separately.
Okay. Thanks.
You bet. Last but certainly not least, when you are putting together your content calendar with the sales and marketing in mind here, you're able to actually sit back, take that look at the overall picture, and make sure that these planned activities are supporting your overall goals, your overall marketing plan, and that you're still, maintaining that brand, you're maintaining the consistency. It's still everything that you need and want out of your business. Number 7, it helps plan your social media marketing. So everything with your content calendar, I guess I should have mentioned previously, you'll have to excuse me, a little bit sleep deprived at this point. It's beyond just, your social media. Social media is a very small part of it, but, having your email campaigns, if you're doing any print advertising, any type of video that you're doing, this all goes into your content calendar. So, like I'll say, like personally, I know, that on my Thursdays are the days that my email campaigns are going out. And then any holidays, I also have those going out, but I also have my social media marketing that's planned for those same holidays. And then I try to align, hey, if my email blast is talking about this topic, then I'm going to make a social media post that day that also aligns with it. So I'm hoping that I'm kind of getting that double hit, and I'm reminding people, oh yeah, I saw this in an email earlier, and drive them back to that. So your social media content calendar is going to be super helpful because you're able to, work on that Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and really focus on the areas, that are performing well. The best thing that you can do is put your money where your mouth is. So if you know that, hey, my Facebook performs significantly better than any of my other social media platforms, make sure that that's in your budget then to be able to throw a few dollars each month behind some Facebook ads. That's what's really going to keep helping you grow your audience, grow your brand, get your message out there. There's so many different ways to be able to put yourself out there, whether you're doing an ebook that you're offering, reports, infographics, videos, that having the social media channel to focus on and be reaching different demographics through different social media platforms is huge. The biggest thing that I will say, if you are, using Facebook is your best performing. Keep in mind with all of the recent Facebook changes and continually changing everything, business pages are harder to see anymore. And so we're at a point that there's less than 6% of followers actually able to see post organically. So if you are taking the time and you have that content calendar and you know that there's a key post that you're really wanting to blast, maybe, it's a promo or a special that you're getting ready to run, and you really want to get that out there, that that's something that you should be planning to also throw a little bit of an ad budget behind, because if you want more than 6% of your followers to be seeing that, you're going to want to put some money behind it. So with that content calendar, make sure that you're also thinking budget wise of, hey, here's a good post, but I don't think I want to pay to boost it versus, I really need a lot of people to see this one. So I'm going to make sure that we're putting a $20 budget behind this. That social media budget should fall right into place with your content calendar. Again, looking at that overall month goal and how you need to make that happen, make sure that you're succeeding. Then the last piece is to keep track of your performance. So measuring your success of your content and overall marketing is possible only if you're tracking it. Tracking is huge. I recommend it all the time to our agents, that if you're setting a goal, you need to be tracking where you're at in that. If you're sending, a email blast, you need to track how it's performing. If you're posting on social media, track how it's performing. If you're not tracking, you're kind of just aimlessly marketing. So you want to make sure you're going back in, you're checking and seeing, okay, I posted this on this date. Here's how it performed. Here was the numbers. Here's how we're going to do some fine tuning to make sure that the next time around we perform better. The whole idea behind tracking is just seeing how you can improve. Some of the apps and tools that I use will help you with your tracking. We'll talk on those a little bit later, because I know Facebook analytics either are already gone or are going away. And so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult to be able to track performance there. But, just continue to always track your performance, track your goals, anything that you are putting your time and energy into. You want to be able to track that to make sure that, you're performing properly and then able to tweak along the way. It's a lot easier to see this month that, hey, I decided I'm going to run this special on this day every month. And if your first month, it doesn't go over super well, that's a good time to look at it and say, okay, what do I need to tweak for next month? Next month, you can see, okay, here's how it went first month. Here's how my second month went. It got better doing this. let's try adding more to that. And you can keep tracking and measuring to be able to see how to get the most out of what you're doing. All right, so before we move into what should my content calendar include, were there any questions on just the overall content calendar, why you need one? Okay, awesome. So we talked about why you need a content calendar. So the next important thing is what should be going into your content calendar. Building out that content calendar is extremely important. Like we talked about in the very beginning, you know, that quality content is what you're aiming at. Try to make that one word. So first of all, you want to be posting relevant content. The best thing you can do is look to see what's the most popular content on the internet and then use that for inspiration. It's like right now, we all know that doing the Pixar eyes and face is huge. I don't think I can get on any social media right now and not see what someone looks like as a Pixar character. So, you know, we know that that's something that is very relevant right now. How can we incorporate that into our business? The biggest thing that you want to be looking at when you're making content, is it likable? Is it shareable? And of course, is it relevant? General rule of thumb that I always use is just to put yourself in the consumer's perspective. So if you had never heard of your business or service and you saw, you know, this post for the first time, how's it going to make you feel? How would you engage with it? How would you interact? If it's something that you would just blow right by, it's not impressive, it's not stop worthy, you know, what can you do to tweak that to where, hey, I'm at least going to stop and give it a like? What can you do to, you know, bump that to where it's something that someone stops and says, hey, I really like that, I'm going to share it. Always be thinking of how you can make the most out of your content. You're taking the time to create it. You're taking the time to schedule it. So make sure that you're really putting out relevant, fabulous content. Second piece is the publishing times. So this varies social media to social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, you know, there's so many other different platforms for you to post on, but just focusing on these few, there are different times and days that things are going to perform better on. You know, it's super easy. You can honestly like Google, when should I post on Facebook? There's so many infographics out there that will tell you exactly like, hey, for Facebook on Tuesday, post at this time. And that's when you're going to get the best engagement. This is going to be super beneficial, like I said, with that organic content. If, you know, it's hard for you to even be getting in front of people in the first place because of all those fabulous little blockers that Facebook has in place. You know, we want to make sure that when we post that we have the best possible chance of reaching that 6% of our audience and hopefully more. So find the best time to post on social media. If you are posting and, you know, you've done your research to say, hey, okay, on Tuesdays, I need to be posting this time on Facebook, and it's not performing as well as you hoped, that's where going back in, tracking and seeing, okay, I'm not getting that much engagement this time, but I saw a big increase, sorry, struggling for words right now, big increase in my engagement at this time, then you can look at adjusting the time that you're posting. And that's where I said with that tracking, we're able to make those tweaks. You know, same thing with your Instagram, your Twitter, all of those, make sure that you're looking them up to see when is the best time, when are the best dates that I'm posting to them. And same goes for email blasts. depending on what apps you're using, we'll get to that in the next slide, but some of them will actually really help you out with this based on when your audience is opening up your emails and you're able to send them at the time that you're getting the most open rates. Next, you want to decide on the type of content when you're mapping this out. So, there's video, infographics, visuals, webinars, short form, long form. I mean, that's small in comparison to the giant list of options you have when it comes to creating content. So in order to keep people engaged, keep people enticed, you want to be able to mix this up quite frequently. Having a little bit of variety in what you're posting, what you're emailing, what you're sharing, how you're marketing your business is really going to help keep your audience engaged with you, with your business. I don't think, let me see if I still have the note on it, but I was super blown away to find out how much engagement infographics got and how popular they actually are. That I don't know why I don't feel like I really see them too often, but as I was doing some research for this, like infographics kept popping up as something that consumers absolutely love. Granted, I did also just mention that, hey, check for an infographic for publishing time. So, obviously they work. So if there's a way that you can tie an infographic into your business, definitely, have some fun with it. This is where that brainstorming time really comes in handy, because you can sit down and say, hey, we're going to do like an education week, and that's going to include a webinar, and I'm going to share an infographic. And then we're going to end the week with a video overview, and you can map that out. Again, that way we're not just flying by the seat of our pants. We're able to actually say, hey, here's my game plan. I'm going to have all of this content pre-made, ready to go. And that week is smooth sailing for you. Another interesting fact that I want to share, according to Cisco, video traffic is going to account for 82% of all business and consumer traffic by 2022. So we know that video has been huge. I don't think I ever talked to anyone who's like, oh no, like video doesn't work. I don't like video. Like everyone's like video, video, video. We can see it's definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. It doesn't have to be super crazy over the top. There are so many phone apps available now. You can easily make, just a quick 30-second to minute-long video. You can explain, hey, here's a special we're running this week, or here's exactly what my service is offering. Using video to explain those things helps so much than, just taking a quick photo and throwing a caption on it. So try to, incorporate some more video, add video. It's tough at first. I understand everyone always hates themselves on video. I know that, like, I'll get this recording and I'll be like, hey, you missed this, but I want you to watch it anyway. But I personally am probably not going to watch it because I hate the way my voice sounds on video. It's just something that you get more confident. You're just like, hey, people like it. I'm giving the information that they're wanting. People are engaging. So, push yourself to do some of that video. One other piece with video that I do want to make sure to mention is, I forget the exact statistic, but I mean, it's like way over 80% of people actually will watch video like on Facebook without sound. So if you are making content, you're taking that time to make those videos, make sure that you're including closed captions. Not only is it a super good idea, so that way you're maintaining ADA compliance, but you're able to still get your message out there while having your video maybe not on sound. I know that I'm really guilty of, I just like having some movement, especially like in the mornings when I'm getting ready. And so I like to see a video. I let kind of Facebook pick and choose, but the videos that have the captions are by far my favorite, because then I'm able to actually kind of like read as I go. And I'm like, oh, okay, like this is what's going on. And I'm not just having to guess and make this little like play in my head about what I think is going on. Again, a lot of really nice, easy apps and tools available online for you to do that. Or if you upload your video to YouTube, they have an automatic closed caption option. Just note that there will be some flaws in what you're saying versus how they're translating. Last, but certainly not least, don't forget to include your call to action. So this can be, you're asking for that comment, subscribe, share, buy, register, whatever that call to action button is for you and your business. You want to entice people to do that action, to convert them into a client, a customer, or, even just a follower at that point, and maintaining that audience relationship, creating that customer. So make sure call to action is always included. Email marketing is always a super easy one, depending on what you're sending out. If you're just sending a more informational one, make sure that you're including that link that says, more info, and it links to your website. You always want to be drawing people back to you. If you're posting on your social media and, you're sharing information, you can ask people, hey, what do you want to learn next? Or what was your favorite part of the webinar today, just to try to get some of those comments, get people engaging. You always want to just increase that engagement, get people talking to you, because that's how you turn them into customers. So last, I just want to share a few different pieces for creating your content calendar. HubSpot, first of all, if you've never heard of HubSpot, please do yourself a favor and go check them out. They have so many amazing tools that, like, even if there's like one thing in marketing that you always wanted to understand more of, but you're like, I don't want to sit down and watch a 3-hour video, they have amazing blogs that like will outline things in under 3 minutes. They have videos, they have little quizzes that you can do to kind of build your knowledge on stuff. So check out HubSpot, lots of fun things going on in there. But they actually have a free Excel content calendar in there. If you search like HubSpot Excel calendar, it will pop up. It's super easy to download. You can edit, adjust, and utilize that to be making your content calendar. Excel can be a fabulous tool. That's why also within Google Drive, you can utilize it there as well. That's Google Sheets, little bit different term, but it works pretty much the exact same. Of course, if you do have Microsoft and you have Excel, then that will work great for you. Within Google Drive, you can also utilize like the Google Calendar, and then use either Google Docs or Google Sheets to share with your team and create that outline. And then you have that living document that you can update. Again, this is a great opportunity to have your sales and your marketing come together and say, hey, here's the day, here's the holiday or event that's on this day. And then your sales team can say, great, we want to drive this much more sales on this date. And then your marketing team can respond and say, okay, here's our plan for how to do it. Kind of helps just, again, more of that collaborative atmosphere, be able to create that game plan and then create your content calendar. Loomly is one that I kept seeing pop up as a recommended. I personally have never used it, but it says that it offers a multitude of tools that, even some post inspiration ideas. You can manage your content assets, schedule posts, manage them in both a list view and a calendar view, and also still analyze what's working and what's not within there. Their most notable feature was that there's that collaboration and approval environment. So teams can submit mockups, provide comments, see version logs, and flag for approval. So if you are a team, it sounds like Loomly could be a really good option for you. I personally use Hootsuite for all of my content scheduling. I really, really like that they have an app, and it is super friendly to use on my iPhone. Makes my life so much easier for, when I'm having to work on the road, or, my computer is somewhere that I can't access it, that I can still make sure, hey, this is here, this is scheduled. I can track my performance. You can look at the week outline. So like I said, I'm a week to week scheduler because that's just what works best within our business. So I'm able to look at the entire week outline and schedule from there. I have all the analytics. The nice part is it breaks it down to where like I can click into LinkedIn and see how LinkedIn is performing and make my adjustments from there. You can also post to multiple accounts. So Hootsuite is one of the few that I found that I could actually do Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and have multiple accounts. And so for like example, our LinkedIn is actually a company LinkedIn, and then I'm managing 3 people's LinkedIn accounts on top of all of the others. And it's just super easy to be able to schedule that content through there. I just select whose account I want to post to, create the post, type the caption, and then I can send it from there. The biggest downside is it is not friendly with Instagram and posting more than one image. If I try to do more than one image, it will post pretty much anywhere but Instagram, which is super annoying. I have to receive a notification to my phone, download the images, copy and paste the text, and then manually post it myself as well. So that is a downside, full disclosure. As far as like basic posting, if you are kind of like, hey, I'm not doing a lot with LinkedIn, but Facebook and Instagram are definitely like where my jam is at. Planoly is an app that is available for download on your phone. I'm pretty sure, I'm like questioning myself now because I did not check to see if it's available on all phones. But I know it definitely works on an iPhone, so sorry. Things I love about it is the app is super user friendly. I love that there is a first comment post option. So I personally love to do my hashtags as a first comment and not have them in my caption. Planoly allows me to actually go in, do all of my hashtags, and then I can save them. So I have different categories that like one is recruitment, and I can click that. And then the first caption is going to include my saved hashtags. And as soon as it's posted, it automatically does that comment. Next is the scheduling view. I love that I can see kind of that outline of my post, how they're going to look, and especially how they're going to look on Instagram. If you like to be, kind of maintaining like a certain image, I know some people are like, today is black, tomorrow's pink, today is black, tomorrow's pink, and it's like maps out and it looks super cool. If you're doing that kind of thing with your Instagram, this is going to super help with that. And then the best time suggestion is fabulous. It actually will track when your users are on, when they're interacting the most, and it tells you the best time to post. And it's not just like, hey, you should post at 8 p.m. It will actually say like, hey, you need to post at 8:20 p.m. because it knows like that 20-minute gap, you're going to actually get more engagement at 8:20 than you are at 8 p.m. So really like that feature. MailChimp is what I use for my email campaigns. I really like that there's just those easy to use templates. It's also HTML friendly, which makes life really easy. The scheduling is super easy to do. It's kind of hard to see like mapped out if you're like not putting it on your own separate calendar. It doesn't show a calendar like Hootsuite or Planoly do. But you can still track your analytics. You can see your open rates. You can see your unsubscribes. You can see how many opens you're getting, how many clicks, any conversions. So definitely like the analytical side of it. And then it also offers best time suggestions that are based off of when your audience is most likely to open that email and when you're getting the best response rate. So that is all I have on content calendars. I know kind of a lot of information. I'm hoping you're not overwhelmed. The point of the content calendar is to take less stress off of you, let you perform more efficiently, more effectively. Should you have any questions moving forward, or you're like, hey, this is my first content calendar, I don't really know if I'm doing this right, and you just want a second set of eyes, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out on my personal Instagram. I manage the Think Local along with Chrissy. And so anytime that you want to send something through Instagram or Facebook, you're pretty much going to be talking to one of us. So I'm more than happy to respond through there as well. You can send me a friend request on Facebook. I'm more than happy to follow you, follow your business, show you some business love. And then, of course, if you're more comfortable with email, my email is also on the screen. Any questions anyone has? No, we're getting short on time.
Caitlin, I was just gonna say, I know this is kind of a whole nother workshop, but because I learned this from you, I've started a content calendar. And also because I'm not a graphic designer, I use Canva a lot, which is a free tool. I know some people like it, some people don't, but it's a pretty good entry level, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And also have where you can schedule to be posted on your social media right from Canva. So
Right.
that might be another topic. If anybody knows an expert at Canva or Illustrator or any of those other designing tools, we might want to try to do that.
I definitely think Canva would be a better, larger group learning because it is so user friendly. That's something that like I've pushed all my agents to start utilizing if they want to make their own content. Mostly because like if you have your own brand logos, color codes, fonts, anything like that you're using, super easy to upload into them. And it's like already pre-branded for you and super easy to use their templates. So
Yes. Yeah. So we'll work on trying to get one of those scheduled.
perfect.
I think it's really important to remember a content calendar isn't just for social media. Most people think when you hear that, they're thinking just social media. That needs to be marketing throughout the whole, everything you do for your business, from the signs on the door to, whatever that may be. So it's a really good thing to keep in mind.
Definitely.
Hey, I have a small question. This is Priyanka. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to
Yeah.
find your video wasn't popping up. So I was trying to see if I could see you.
Oh, I'm probably sitting in a messy room. That is why you can't see the
You're fine.
I had a quick question to know. You did mention that the algorithms keep on changing with social media.
Mhm.
Is there any way of finding like a gist or a summary of the updates that have happened to say Facebook, Instagram, and for the organic reach that you mentioned? Is there like a quick summary guide or like a ready reckoner that can help us through? Because I hear the changes keep on happening twice or thrice a year, and it's hard to keep track of that.
Yeah, and if somebody has like something specific that they're using for information, I have like a few places that like I've subscribed to blogs that they give updates on when things are coming. I know Facebook at least has gotten better at sending out emails. So like they just, I think 2-3 weeks ago, sent out the email letting everyone know that like they're going to be dropping analytics. But I would just really strongly recommend like every month, if not more than that, just doing a quick Google search and just say like changes to Facebook, because you're usually going to get someone that has like the inside details, breaks it down really easy, and you have like a quick 3 to 4 minute read that's going to outline everything that's shifting and changing and how to better plan how to manage your business through it.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Good question.
Hey, Caitlin, this is Karina with Foundation for Youth.
Hey.
Hello. Thank you for hosting this event with the chamber. I really appreciate it. Got a lot of info. I have zero marketing background and I am working in a marketing role. So this really, really helps. So one thing that we do is we like to do videos, and with limited like amateur video skills, if you will, I think a future topic might video, just a basic 30-second video. Realize that trying to move videos from an iPhone, your laptop, that's become an issue. And I try to Google, like, okay, how do you do this? And there's a cloud converter out there where it's super easy. You can move I think it was like MOV type, and transfer it to a JPEG or a different format. It's a format converter. So things like that you run into, that like little hiccups, is like time savers. I think something like that would be very beneficial in the future.
Yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate the suggestion. I'm making some notes, so hopefully we can add some more classes here. Any other questions, or anyone have anything else that they would like to do a class on in the future? I like the Canva and video idea. Definitely not on the same day.
Hey, Caitlin, just an idea. Can we have like a working workshop for creating a content calendar? I've never done one and I would like to do one, but just like a basic, whatever you've suggested today, like a working workshop or an online workshop where we can kind of have a couple of us, members sitting across and just creating the first content calendar.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's a great idea.
Definitely.
That would be great if we could do that in person.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We could probably figure that out.
Yeah, we can find the space and get that going too, just so that I feel comfortable with it.
Great suggestion.
I'm going to throw the plug in that tonight is our meeting at 4:00. So these ideas, we want everybody who wants to be on the committee to be there. And it's not just business owners, it's consumers, it's all of that as well. So just keep that in mind. Like, if you have ideas, you can see how Think Local can grow or how Think Local can help our community. Please come at 4:00, share those ideas. You can also email Caitlin, myself. This is Chrissy Riley, by the way. And Cammie, and we can do that for you.
Hey, Chrissy, this is Chris McCord. Thank you for that plug. I just wanted to ask before we go about the group and what kind of is the premise behind it, and kind of what is the focus or the agenda, who comes, who doesn't come, kind of just, I've not heard of the group before. So just wanted to understand a little bit better.
So, okay, so I'll take it. I'm looking at Caitlin, expecting her to step up. So Think Local, just so you know, as an overhaul, Think Local back in September, October, the chamber reached out to us and they wanted to create this committee of local business leaders that can help push thinking local, right? The big thing with Think Local is don't think small, it's think Columbus first. So what we are really leaders in our community that are coming together that's really passionate about Columbus, reminding the community that, hey, ordering online is great. It's convenient, but we also have that right here in Columbus. For example, Walmart and Rural King and Best Buy, those are big box stores that hire residents here and put money into our economy. So you can order online for the convenience of it, but then pick up in store. Also, just, we have wonderful businesses here that you don't have to go to the big city to get, and just kind of continually creating that thought process, having people submit events that are happening. If a local business is having a sale, right? Because we have learned that when you spend locally, 67 cents of every dollar comes back into our community. So if you go to Amazon.com and order, which don't get me wrong, I do it too. But if we could just think first, like, what is that available in Columbus? And can I put that back into the community here before going to the other option? A lot of people will spend $1 more if they know it's staying locally. So that's kind of the premise of it. The meeting tonight is a revamp of Think Local. We started out, we had a great run. And now we're like, okay, let's revamp, right? We want to do more volunteer opportunities within the community. If United Way needs help for something, we know the Festival of Lights that goes on in December parade needs help. So how can we take our committee and our group and get volunteers to help them with that? That's kind of a quick version of it.
Sure. Thank you.
I know we're almost out of time. This is Karina again. Just a note, Chrissy, regarding like purchasing from Amazon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Amazon Smiles.
Yes.
Program. So Foundation for Youth is part of that. So anytime somebody purchases an item and they have their selected charity set up under the Amazon Smile, we get a portion of it.
And those are things that we can share. That's stuff that we would want, right? That we can share and put that message out there that, okay, if you're going to go to Amazon, at least use Amazon Smile so that we could still get a portion of that back here too.
So our part of our plan, our marketing plan is to put that on our website with information on how the end user can register their Amazon card to link it to the Amazon Smiles for our organization.
And so when you go to do that, let us know and we could do a showcase Saturday.
I think there are a couple of organizations within Columbus who are using Amazon Smile. I think United Way is one of them. And even the Ganesh Mandar, the Columbus Ganesh Mandar is also one of them who utilizes Amazon Smile. Mm-hmm. So we can have like
as well.
Yeah, we can have a list of organizations who can benefit from Amazon Smile.
So if you guys could email that to Caitlin or myself, even thinklocalcolumbus@gmail.com. That's right, Cami, right? thinklocalcolumbus@gmail.com is our email address for that. So if you guys can email those lists, we'll be more than happy. Content, right? That's the learning of today is we need content. And that's kind of where we're looking at our committee as well to help us find the content that we can then schedule out. So any information, please share.
Yeah, Kroger Rewards is another one.
Right, yeah, I thought about that too.
So.
All right, well, thank you, ladies. Thank you all, guys, gals.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this will be, we'll record this and post this on the Think Local website and wherever else we can post it. It'll be posted in multiple sites. So you can go back and refresh your memory or share it with others, and that would be great. If anybody, like we said, if anybody has any questions or different ideas, just email us and we'll see what we can do.
Awesome.
Otherwise,
thank you all for being here.
Yes,
Thank you.
See you guys later.
Bye.
I'm sorry, I didn't answer, Chrissy. You were like directly addressed. And so that's why I was like, I'm going to let you take it since she was like, so Chrissy, because I was like, I'm not going to butt in. So
no, that's okay. Because I was like, we could only see your video. And I was like, but she did say Chrissy. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I feel awkward. I don't know how to unpin myself. So I'm just going to leave it. But I was like, I'm going to let you address. So then there's no confusion on like, wait, who sent, who's what?
Who's speaking? No, it's fine. It'll be fine.
All good. All right. Well, thank you all. We'll see you this afternoon.
See you afternoon.
Soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.